The Boom Podcast starts now.
I don't want to hear about your tailbone. I don't want to hear about your sciatica. I don't want to hear about your lower back. Because injuries happen. Injuries come and go. I'm actually playing today's podcast hurt. I'm day to day right now on the official injury list. Yes, I fell down a flight of stairs.
Are you on the Boom IR right now?
No. I'm just listed as questionable day to day. But I'm in for today. I'm in the starting lineup.
You just took a cortisone shot and you're just going to keep going.
I took the needle. I'm not afraid to say I juice anyway for the podcast. Like I'm on a lot of steroids, and that's. I mean, you don't look like this.
Speaking of steroids,
on a lot of steroids.
Speaking of steroids, I've been working out a lot more lately, and I've been.
Todd, is that you under there?
I've been using, yeah.
It's hard to say.
And I've been using, doing a lot more legs than I would if I was on my own, because I have somebody that's kind of telling me what to do, and I've always known you got to mix in the legs.
Right.
And just feeling my butt cheeks. They are tight.
Leg day is leg day is my least favorite day.
Real proud of my butt cheeks right now.
Are you?
Real nice.
Let's get back to Terry's
Did
fall.
you guys want to feel them?
No.
That was me cutting to another camera.
I do.
Before Todd stood up and
Started
to
flexing
feel his own butt
gluteus.
cheeks.
What's it called? Your gluteus maximus?
Gluteus maximus, yep. So, yeah, I was on vacation with some friends, and we were in one of those cabins in the woods type things, and I was going down to the basement, and they were wood steps, and I had socks on, and I slipped at the top, and I bounced all the way down on my back and run. Yeah, it was funny. The one thought I had as I was falling to my doom was I'm not going to be able to stop myself. I'm going all the way to the bottom because once you're going, there's just no way. Yeah, so it hurt, but I was okay. It freaked out the people in the cabin. They flipped out because they
see it, or did they just
they
hear
just
it?
heard it.
Pretty.
And in their minds, I'm head first, like toppling and in a heap of blood at the bottom of the stairs. But
you've seen the Netflix show
The Staircase,
right?
yep.
Was Amy around you?
She was not, and she has witnesses that corroborate that I was by myself, clumsy, klutzy. Okay, I feel like it was a slapstick bit that I did. Wasn't that funny, guys? How I pratfalled down to the bottom of the stairs.
I'm glad you're not concussed or something else.
I might be concussed. Yeah, you never know.
Right.
No, I didn't hit my head at all, but I
Playing
often
through the pain.
Tailbone
like
okay?
it.
Tailbone, lower back, it all kind of hurts, but no serious injuries. I'm just a little banged up.
Good enough to podcast?
I would rather have my glutes be sore because of Todd's working out regimen than
real tight.
I fell down the stairs. So.
Real tight.
Okay, how's everybody else's gluteus maximuses? Christian, Megan, any other thoughts?
No, I have not.
Nothing?
I'd be
okay.
happy to comment on Megan's.
I'm really surprised no one else wants to comment on the state of their butt.
I just like we're starting the podcast. Just all about dupas.
Just time ticking by.
All right, so welcome to the podcast. We hope your buns are made of steel today and feeling super good. I do like after leg day the soreness you get. Like the leg day soreness is awesome in the hammies and the inner thighs and the booty. Like it just feels really good. It's a nice soreness. It's a pleasant soreness.
That's the other thing. It's not just my buns, like my thighs. Like that
That's
good.
my least favorite sore, are the quads. That's my
The quad
least
sore is
favorite.
kind of tough.
I don't know why.
What's your most
Anywhere
favorite
else is
soreness?
Probably the butt. Or I like shoulders don't bother me.
My shoulders don't get very sore.
I feel
for some
good
reason.
about it when
I
I'm
like the chest,
back and shoulders.
The chest.
Okay.
Actually, you caught me the other day massaging my pecs after chest day, Megan. I'm sorry about that. You're like, Terry, please stop touching your chest.
I tried not to notice
And
for
I'm
a
like-
while, but it was a
He's
real
like,
massage.
I was going deep tissue on my own pecs. It's super normal. Anyway, we hope your buns and pecs and everything else is sore and pleasant for you today. Email us info@boomrealestatepodcast.com and visit us on all the social media networks and all those things. Season 3, guys.
Yay!
Been waiting for something, now it's time for season 3.
It is really good. We were going to have him try other ones, but that one's just so good that it will never be topped, or will it?
I think there might be. I know.
Willie or won't he?
Oh,
I
goodness.
think there's video of him recording that somewhere.
Oh,
that
yeah,
could
we should
leak
release
out
that.
into the
That
Is
might
that
internet.
going to
leak.
leak out of
I mean, so good.
check
Oh, it's good
WikiLeaks?
stuff. That is good times. Okay, so we have been going through all these lead generation systems.
Yes.
And we finished up and left off. Now we're ready for Did we come up with a better title?
Nope, I think
don't
this
think-
is
I think
it.
we just hit record.
Unfortunately, I think we're stuck.
Network your brains out. All right, so that's what we're going with, networking. And just start this off, and I know we've said this before, but if you're a newer listener, maybe you haven't caught it before, but Todd and Megan, you guys.
Yes.
When it comes to your business and the business you guys have built, your number one source is always Sphere and Sphere Referred. But right behind it for you is always intentional business networking, right?
Yep.
So when we dive into this topic today, you guys are coming from a place of experience with this because you guys have done this for a long time with a lot of success. So today, all your secrets will be shared.
Secret.
Let's do it. Secret.
So, but let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's get into it and start off
Start
talking
this
about
party.
how we go about it, how we find it, what we do,
All
how
the
we
things.
are, the whole thing. And we have about 20 minutes. So off we go.
Off we go. All right. So, yeah, honestly, networking, agents are such people. Usually it's just such a natural fit for us to get out there and network with other people to grow your business and make this a lead gen source. And I think we are out with the people a lot of times, but we're not purposely and proactively networking for leads and for growth of your business. So basically, when you're out there with the people and you're growing your lead gen source, we want to talk about the where and the hows and just kind of some ninja tips on the details. So we're going to start walking through networking your brains out.
Yes, let's
Yep.
do it. So
Catchy title.
enjoy your brains because in 20 minutes,
They'll be out.
you'll have networked them out. Actually, you'll network after. Anyway, okay. All right, Todd, let's go over to you. Why don't you kick us off and why don't you get us started on
I
the
would
whole
be
shebang?
happy to, Terry. And by the way, I will comment. Megan said that for some people, like it's just natural to network, and there are plenty. And I would say probably your average realtor that's being outgoing is something that a lot of us are comfortable with. But there are plenty of introverts that the whole networking thing is just not something that they're super stoked about. Maybe they understand, maybe they don't have the confidence with. So we're saying, though, you should definitely try it. You should definitely use our tips today. Go out because if you do it right, whether you're extrovert, introvert, ambivert, whatever you are, as long as you are out there working it,
Yes.
you
What is
will
an
get business from it.
ambivert?
I saw a speaker one time that
the mix?
I don't know if he coined the term ambivert, but it's a mix.
Okay.
Somebody that
well, won't
has
most
both
people
sides.
say that they're ambiverts?
Yeah.
Unless they're just hardcore.
Is
one or
omnivert
the
the same thing as ambivert?
Omnivert is all the verts.
All the verts?
Ambivert means you go back and forth. Ambi is like both ways,
Yeah.
right?
Ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Right. Amphibious.
And we're like
what? Amplifier. No, wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm off the rails now. All right.
but that's a good
The
point.
roids are kicking in.
Oh no, here we go. He's delirious. But Todd, I would say you're the quintessential extrovert, pretty much. And then I would say I would lean towards being an introvert, but we both do this to grow our business.
Yeah.
And so even as an introvert, I would much rather stay at home in my PJs and not be around a bunch of people. But you have to force yourself. It's just like going to do an open house or going to do call expireds or whatever you're doing.
Right.
This is a really valid lead gen source that can feed you now and feed you later because you're building relationships. So it's well
love it.
worth
Yep.
having a strategic
And keep in
plan.
mind, like as we go through this season and give you all these different options, we definitely want you to try them all if you haven't tried some of them. But at the end of the day, it's going to be impossible for you to maintain all of these platforms unless you got a really large team and they're kind of diversified.
Yeah.
But so really what we're saying is try everything and then come back to the ones that you're good at and make sure that you have a minimum of 3 that you're working hard.
Love
Yep.
it.
Boom. Okay, so let's
Find
get into
3.
it. So we are talking about networking and specifically business networking. First thing I want you to do is I want you to find all the local events in the geographic area where you want to be. So this would be like, if you're working in your town, if you're working in another area, a neighborhood, whatever it is, make sure that you know exactly what all is offered. And what you're going to realize is there's a lot more than you even realize.
Yeah.
There's women of business, there's BNI, there's Rainmakers, Chamber of Commerce, there's young professionals groups, there's, Christian groups, there's everything you can imagine, but you just need to do a quick Google search for networking in Indianapolis. Minneapolis or wherever you may live, right? And you'll find those options for you. Now, when you do that, make sure you're focusing on two things, because this is how you're going to make long-term play at it. One, make sure that you love what you're about to get into. All right. If it's something that you love to do, say it's sports, like that's not purely business. Now it can be business related, but you could get involved in a sports league, and therefore you're networking out on that, and that's something you love to do. But another one, like I was thinking about, so we specifically are in BNI, Business Networking International. All right. So that's not, networking is something I love to do. And so networking is fine with me. And that's a very poignant one, which we're going to talk about reasons why here in a little bit. But it's definitely one where I'm there every week. And because of that, a lot of people are scared of it, but I enjoy it. I get to see friends and other business people that I associate with on a regular basis. So that's something. Make sure that you're going to love it and get into it. Then the other thing is, where do you want to get business from? So you need to work those angles, all right? If you know that you want to move up and you want to make more money and sell higher inventory homes, well, then you better start networking with those types of people, all right? So that's the big thing. Love it and list it. Wait, no, let's go. Hold on. I think that might be it.
Hold on a second.
I don't
think that's right.
This is a really good point to network where you enjoy to be, whether it's playing sports or getting involved in like a ministry or a volunteer organization or just your neighborhood, but that you're networking, doing something that you're super passionate about, or you enjoy the time there, because lead gen sometimes can be like drudgery. You're like,
right.
Oh, I have to do this. This makes it fun. You're doing multiple things at once. And it plays into that other point Todd said, which is then your client base is going to become the people you're around naturally that you enjoy to be around. So it might be, if you have kids, it might be all the parents of the other kids in that school, get involved in the school, and then they're going to be your clients. And if you want that second, time buyer that has a family and they're moving up, then great. That's where you need to go. Wherever it is. If you want to be in like golf course community, high-end homes, great. Get a membership to the golf club, start networking there, go to the gyms, just get involved, know who your target market is, and start networking with them there.
And keep in mind, like, even though we're talking about business networking, this doesn't have to be purely for business. Like, that's what the reason these people get together. But at the end of the day, that's why you're doing it, is to gain business. All right, couple of ninja tips real quick for you. Number one is paid events are attended by people who are like-minded. Non-paid events are attended by broke people.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
So think about that. You spend a little bit of money, so is everybody else that is there, which means they're intentionally there and they're there for a reason. If it's a free event, this is why I hate brokers opens, because you offer free food, and who shows up? All the agents that don't sell homes. Yeah. All right. No offense to anybody that holds brokers opens.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, and then the second one is find exclusive groups. So BNI, I talked about them earlier. BNI is exclusive. If you are the realtor for that group, you are the only realtor for that group. They are harder to get into, especially when half of the population has a real estate license, but they are solid if you can get into them. And if you can't get into one, guess what? Start your own.
Yes.
So good. Yes, grab some people and start your own. And even though the paid event thing sounds kind of like surfacey, what's that called? Oh, like shallow. It's really not. It's people that pay for something are more invested in it, and they're more likely to work hard. And instead of just showing up to something free that you're kind of half butting, because butts were the topic. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, yes. Anyway, so they're not there just kind of, they have no investment. So I agree. Paid events, good call.
I heard a statement one time that the transformation is in the transaction. So like you're not gonna because you transact and have money on the line, you're more invested, and the transformation begins because you've transacted. That's pretty good stuff,
saying.
Right?
So if you want to pay for this podcast right now, you will transform.
That's a great point. So like this podcast, you know how you don't value it at all.
At all, right.
Because it's free.
It's free. It's worth every penny.
Right? Yeah. So you could give two craps about what we say or if it's helpful or not or implementing anything we say at all, right?
Can I get a ruling? Todd, was that a hot tip?
Oh,
which one? That people
what is
give? That's not a tip. That's not a tip. No, that's like it's a pithy saying. We need it.
Okay.
It's a pithy saying.
That's true.
Okay.
How about that? It's a
so
pithy
anyway.
saying. Like that?
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. So
Doesn't
one of
roll off
those
the
up.
tongue, though, does it?
So you now that we've acknowledged how little you're invested in everything we're saying, let's continue.
Yep. Let's say more.
Megan, over to you, buddy.
All
what
right.
do you have to say that no one cares about?
most all of the words.
No, just kidding.
All right, so we figured out where you're going to go network. Now we're going to talk about what do you do when you get there and how do you put your best foot forward if you were going to show up to networking events and you're going to start being there. So first thing, have a goal. Like just like anything else that you're doing, anytime you're lead genning, you have a goal of where you want to grow your sphere and you want to get referrals and you want to build relationships. So have a goal. Maybe how many people do you want to talk to? Who do you want to meet there? Maybe there's somebody in particular that you want to get to know, and that's your goal. So before you go in, have some form of a goal. And then work to connect.
Yeah.
So it's super easy to show up and just, hang out and not be focused on what you're supposed to be doing there. So collect business cards or contact information. Some people don't have cards anymore. Just get their information. Right. Later, find them on social media, start following them, leave them a note. Learn the art of asking the right question.
Right.
There are definitely questions you can ask to engage people better than others. So really think about what you're going to be talking about. When it's kind of like with our kids, we've found that they just don't know how to converse with other humans sometimes. So like our 6-year-old, they'll be like, oh, who sits by you in class? And what'd you guys talk about? And she's like, I don't know their names.
Right.
I don't, I'm like, okay, so when you meet somebody, you ask them, what's your name? What do you like to do? What's your favorite color? So those are just, what are those questions called? They're like prompts.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have some like prompts when you go into these that you are going to always ask if you can't think of anything else, which is okay.
Ford, family, occupation,
yes.
recreation, and dreams.
Yes. Awesome. See?
what you're talking
So
about.
use Ford when you need to do that. And this I learned from a friend in high school. And I noticed by being an observer that she had so many friends that loved her, but they weren't deep relationships, but everybody really liked this girl. And I noticed when conversing with her and being around her, finally, it was like a light bulb moment that she never talked about herself.
Yeah.
It was never like, oh, yeah, I was doing this. And all she ever
pretty
asked was
good.
questions. Well, why do you do that? How do you do that? Okay, how's that work for you guys? What's your favorite thing when you do this? And it's amazing. And it starts great conversations. People love to talk about themselves. And then everybody loved her. So a really good thing. Don't talk about yourself. Focus on the other people. And then don't take the easy road. It is so easy to sit down and play on your phone and not make eye contact. And so just when you're there, get off your phone.
Yeah.
Don't sit with the same people and hang out with the ones because you're comfortable. And I'm like, oh, hey, Todd. And then we
Right.
talk about stuff because, we're all comfortable in our social circles. But break out of that and go meet new people and stretch
I
yourself.
guess the whole purpose is to be uncomfortable, right?
It is. It really is. Yep. Yep.
Well, I'm just amazed though when people go to these events and you're taking time out of your day to be there.
Yep.
And then you're sitting in a corner,
Your wallflower.
on your phone, and
Right.
what's the point? You're here to network, get out
Yep.
and meet people, and with that, like one of the best things that you can do if you're in these groups is be an ambassador for the group, which means when you get these strangers that are in there, go introduce yourself, welcome
Yes.
them to the group, because I've met so many people that I've established great relationships with because they've been like, I was here for a half an hour and nobody had talked to me yet. You're the first one that talked
That
to me.
came up.
And I'm like, that's the wrong thing for
Right.
networking,
Right.
right? We need to be expanding and we need to be reaching out to other people as well.
Yeah, I
So,
like that.
Yep. All right, guess what?
Uh-oh.
What?
We've got a sponsor. We got SPONSOR.
Yeah. That was very
sponsor?
it's very
our sponsor.
non-confident
My
sponsor.
my twins, Megan and our twins are in 5th grade, and they are starting to do vocabs. And so like every day we have to run through 10 words or 20 words with them or something like that, and just basically do vocab tests and practice. And I'm struggling with a lot of those words.
You don't know the words?
Like I know what they are, but spelling wise, I'm like, oh
yeah.
Like
so
tchotchke.
that's how that's spelled.
Tchotchke.
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 So, anyways,
That's fun. Like
so,
what? Can you think of one of them?
What was one that we had? Like conscience, maybe.
Oh yeah, con science. That's tough.
Con
yeah.
science. Yeah.
Something I forget. There was a
Interesting.
couple that
There's
were
some weird ones, yeah.
Oh, the one I've always struggled with, not spelling wise, but just explaining the difference. Is
Kernel?
affect versus effect.
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
Like I still have no idea like when you use either one, and I'm like, okay, so I just use a different like a synonym of it, a cinnamon.
Not
of-
that
I
word.
think of it as like affect is like a verb, and when it's an effect, it's a noun type of thing. I know that's not quite
Yeah.
that black and white,
Yeah.
but like affect is like active affecting, and then and effect is the result of some.
I was thinking about
affecting or something
science
like
with
that.
effect.
Yeah,
I'm like, could this
yeah.
be like a science fair where you get the effect? But it still
Although
seems it's a
when
gray area.
when you effect change, that's with an E.
Yeah.
So
See?
it's
I
not
thought it was
just
Then it
affect
is.
change. You affect
well, you can, but I think you can also effect change.
man.
I don't know.
And that's when I would quickly go to when you cause change.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right.
You
All right,
inspired
let's
change.
sponsor it up. Let's pay some
season
bills.
long, as you hopefully have known.
Is it by chance Subway? Because I noticed we're all.
Oh, we are also.
and everybody has on like gray. And
We had a little
black.
team meeting before the potty today. We sponsored a little.
We ate fresh.
Subway.
We did eat fresh. I feel fresh.
My sandwich was not great.
Oh, come on now.
I don't know.
There
why.
goes that sponsorship.
All right, so all season we have invited sponsors who are just trying to break the seal of success, and so we figured
And effect change.
there you go. We are going to help them out by doing a free sponsorship right here on
Yep.
the show, in the middle of
Do we
the
need a
show,
music
the
bed
most
under this?
expensive one. This one, you got a little music? What do you got?
Let's see.
That's good. I like that. All right. Bad credit? No problem. Serious debt? No problem. Need cash fast? No problem. With Uncle Lou's cash advance, we won't turn you down. As long as we know where you and your immediate relatives live,
Oh, no.
you can secure a cash loan now.
That seems
Visit
bad.
Uncle Lou's online at www.uncleloulovesyou.com or in person at 428 Kankle Street between Uncle Vinny's Pawn Shop and Big Bella's Bail Bond. Uncle Lou's Cash Advance, making cash advances a relatively painless experience.
Relative.
Save your kneecaps. Do not. Call
I have concerns
Uncle Lou.
about that one. I
I
mean,
think he's
Should
onto
we,
something.
should we
Do
tie
you?
ourselves to Uncle Lou? I'm a little
We don't have a lot of
nervous.
Uncle Lou's in Indianapolis,
Do
do
they
we?
have an
No,
interest rate
but-
on that? Annual interest rate?
Yeah.
You know what? They don't advertise it because I
Yeah.
think it just changes.
I think it's in
Yeah, it's-
teeth
it's always in
and
flux.
broken
Yeah.
bones
Teeth and broken
and
bones.
dreams.
based
Probably
on
right.
how many relatives you have.
Dreams. It's going to cost you
Broken
3 of your
dreams.
life dreams.
Broken dreams, yeah. Yeah. Children.
all right, well, we got that one done. So check that off.
Yep.
Thanks, Uncle Lou. Yeah, I have
LEW
concerns,
or
but you know,
LOU?
LOU.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for asking. We need
LOU.
that. Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
he should have gone with a different
Wanna
name.
make sure I
on
go
his
to the right
website.
URL.
Yeah. Somebody buy up the other one quick. All right, well, let's keep talking about networking. All right, so Megan, she just talked about
Todd.
giving it your best.
Do
I
it.
talked about you getting out and actually doing it.
Yep.
What about the follow up? So you went out, you did it,
Yep.
you gave it your best. You're simply the best.
Oh.
And then you were very happy with it, and then you went home and you celebrated by eating a pint of ice cream.
Yum.
No,
Big
no.
mistake.
No.
Nay,
Huge
say I.
mistake. Nay, say Todd.
Yeah, yeah. You got business cards, you got names, you got contact information. What's the first thing you should do? You should go back and follow up with those people. And you know what? If you can do it on a
Nice.
personal level, even better. And what that means is, could you follow up with a handwritten note that says something like, "It was so nice meeting you at the networking event. I love talking about your Uncle Lou and the things that were going on in his business, as well as your business."
I don't want to know. I don't want to know
It seems like a bad
what's going
idea.
on in his business.
But if you were to follow up with something personal like that, maybe a phone call,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the next week, like, "Hey, I don't know if you're making it out to this week's networking event, but I really enjoyed hanging out with you last week. Would
Mm-hmm.
love to see you again." Bada bing, bada boom. What you're doing is you're creating a relationship. And then what do we do with the relationship? We put them
We
in our
ruin it.
sphere.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We put them in our sphere marketing and we play the long game and we make money off of them.
Oh.
That's why we network,
Oh.
people.
Wait, is that why? Is that
Oh.
why we're here? Is like we're friends? Because I feel like maybe like our friendship is a sham,
Air
and you just are
quote
trying to make money off of
friends.
me the whole time.
Well, I mean,
Have you just? Has this been a ruse?
I don't
20
know.
years of friendship.
I'm playing the long game.
That's the long game. That's right.
And someday I know you guys are going to be profitable. So, all right. And then the last one is you should definitely have a CRM. And then you need to put those people in there. You need to have copious notes. You need to have the contact information. You need to have an action plan of how you're going to follow up with them. Go back to our sphere, part 1
Yeah.
and part 2, and listen
Yeah.
to what you do with those people because they are now in your CRM, which means you do not forget about them. You market to them, and the more people you meet, the more people you
Yes.
market to, the more people
Yep.
you market to, the more business you have, the
Yes.
more business you have, the more growth you have, the more
Yep.
growth you have, the more
Come
money
on.
you have,
Yes.
and then
Come on
all
now.
of a sudden you are rich and you quit your job in a blaze of glory.
Oh,
It's a hot tip.
And I think that's a wrap.
that really escalated.
No, then you can eat your ice cream. That's when you can eat
At
the
that
pint of ice
point,
cream.
you can have
Yeah.
one scoop of ice cream.
One.
Let me ask you this.
Lactose
You're getting late in
free.
the years. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
Death be knocking at your door.
Death be knocking.
Wow.
Are you going out like
Very
I'm
dark.
gonna eat ice cream and drink the drinks and
yeah.
do whatever I want on my way out, or are you gonna try to prolong that bad boy?
Well, how are you feeling and looking at that point?
Well, I mean, I know I'm looking good, got tight buns.
Then hey, then you be healthy. But once you know it's downhill, you're at
You
that
just
last.
go with
You're
it.
like, enjoy it. You
Give
know,
me a pint
It's-
of Ben and Jerry's. ASAP.
right?
It's like when I slipped and fell on the stairs. I
your
said,
life-
"There's no stopping me now,"
Your
and
life
that's
flashed
how I'm gonna do it, baby. I'm gonna start smoking
on the way down the
on
stairs.
the way down the
Way
stairs.
down the stairs.
Got that right. All right, Megan. So let's put a bow on this thing. Final thoughts as
Let's
far
do
as
it.
how this thing goes.
All right. So the big key is you're going to be out there networking, but don't try to chase too many rabbits. Meaning,
Right.
don't just go add 15 events and things to
Right.
do. You know, strategically pick them, strategically plan them. Pick a handful that you can really have deep relationships instead of a bunch of shallow ones and surface relationships. Get good at a few things, master them, and then build the deeper relationships with key people and key organizations, and boom,
Boom
you're
shakalaka.
rich.
And then one scoop of ice cream on your way out. the
Vanilla.
door.
Down the stairs.
It is going to be a big scoop.
Scoop of low-fat vanilla.
We should make big ice cream scoopers. That way when people are like, I just want one scoop, like, no problem.
Man,
I bet they have them.
It's called a shovel. Email info@boomrealestatepodcast.com. Check out Real Estate on Purpose, REOP, REonPurpose.com is the URL there, and Lou's custom
Yeah.
fingernail.
New agents, if you're,
removal.
you need a little money to hold you over. Uncle Lou's
Look
loves
can
you.
set you up.
Oh, good times. We will see you next time with more on the Boom Podcast.